Hey everyone, I hope everyone is doing well. Hope you're just finding things to read. I hope I'm influencing what you're putting on your TBR and or what you're picking up from the library or a bookstore. Um, the book that I'm doing today is Circe by Madeline Miller. You might have heard one of her books. Yeah, it's been out for a while. It's been out, I think it's been out almost 10 years now. She doesn't really, I haven't seen anything out from her lately, but I haven't really checked. You might have heard of her because she wrote a book called Story of Achilles, just sort of a precursor because it's, yeah, to this, but it is and it isn't. I haven't read Song of Achilles, so this is one of my first of her books. I will read the back and we'll go from there, and I'll give you my review. In the house of Helios, god of the sun and mightiest of the Titans, a daughter is born. But Circe is a strange child, not powerful like her father, nor viciously alluring like her mother. Turning to the world of mortals for companionship, she discovers that she does possess power, the power of witchcraft, which can transform rivals into monsters and menace the gods themselves. Threatened, Zeus banishes Circe to a deserted island, where she hones her occult craft and crosses paths with many of the most famous figures in all of mythology, including the Minotaur, Dialdus and his doomed son Icarus, the murderess Medea, and of course, wily Odysseus. But there is danger too, for a woman who stands alone, and Circe unwittingly draws the wrath of both men and gods, ultimately finding herself pitted against one of the most terrifying and vengeful of the Olympians. To protect what she holds dear, Circe must summon her strength and choose once and for all whether she belongs with the gods she is born from or the mortals she has come to love. I had a bit of an issue with most of the book. I felt that the author kind of, what's the word? It kind of stagnated. It kind of, I don't know, it got into a rut, I think, or it felt like there wasn't much movement in the story, and that was really a frustrating point for me. So I ended up giving it a 4 out of 5. I've heard a lot of people really like this book. They either really like it or they really don't. You either like Song of Achilles or you like Circe. And very few actually like both. Now, I haven't read Song of Achilles, so I can't say if I like Song of Achilles. It may be more of my style. But as a retelling of the Odyssey, and taking Circe from the Odyssey, which is, I think, is a relatively minor character in the Odyssey. I may be wrong about that, but taking her and expanding it, I think, was really great. I think one thing I had a problem with, I think one of the problems I had with the book is just that there were too many people to keep track of. It's not that there was just too many individuals to take a note of and to keep track of. And I think that was part of the problem. Also, it felt like the first half of the story it really lagged a bit. And it just kind of, I don't know what's the word. It just was kind of stagnating. It didn't move a lot. I didn't know what was the purpose. And I mean, once you get to the last half, you understand. But it kind of feels like up until the point where Odysseus shows up in the book, which is about halfway through. It just kind of seems to, it seems to be slow. And I won't go much further into, but it seems it seems to pick up after Odysseus quite a bit. And it is for this sort of book, it did feel kind of long. Like some of the early chapters felt very long. I mean, I remember one was compared to the back of the book. Like, I mean, some chapters were like over 20 pages, and then by the time you get to the back end of the book, they're like maybe 5 to 10, which is a fairly normal length for a book, for a chapter length. And I just felt that there were too many details in the book that had, well, while they did have some answers. They did have relevance to the rest of the book. It just felt like, it just felt like some of it didn't have enough. It's very well done, very well crafted, very well put together. The story is well told, so I can't deny her that. And it did win the Goodreads Award, Choice Award, I think, for, I'm not sure that year what it won, in 2018 or 2019. But it's obviously a well-known book. Lots of people know about it. Lots of people have read it since it came out. Yeah, I recommend it. It's a really good book, especially if you know your Greek myths and you know your Greek mythology and a bit of your Greek history. I would say yes. I would recommend reading this book, and that was Circe by Madeline Miller. And I will talk to you fairly soon. Bye for now.